Hey there, welcome to Randomness of Rudy. My name is Tracey. I'm a consulting astrologer and a certified life coach. And in this video, we're going to talk about what it means to have the planet Mercury in the sign of Gemini. This is a part of my series, What's Your Sign, Gemini, where I take a look at what it means to have all of the planets in our solar system, Sun through Jupiter, in the different zodiac signs. And so make sure you check out my first video, Sun in Gemini, my next video, Moon in Gemini. Also keep in mind that in this series, I am focused on children, but of course, this information applies to anyone with Gemini placements. And so Mercury in astrology describes how we communicate. This planet tells the story of how we think, how we process information, how we disseminate knowledge and information, and how we engage our surroundings. Gemini, meanwhile, is an air sign that I often describe as the forever student in the zodiac because it's a sign, generally speaking, that's known to be highly inquisitive. Geminis are known to be very social, very outgoing, and it's a sign that tends to know a lot about a lot of different things, okay? Mercury in traditional astrology actually rules the sign of Gemini, and so feels at home in the sign of the twins. This is a natural, happy placement. And if your child was born with Mercury in the sign of Gemini, or if you as an adult were born with Mercury in the sign of Gemini, this placement is for natives who are very smart, very intelligent, jack of all trade. That is Mercury in the sign of Gemini. Children with Mercury in Gemini also tend to be highly social. And so you may find your little one really enjoys learning about different subject matter. This placement describes someone that is curious about what's happening in the community, what's happening in the news, what's happening with the latest technology. Let's gossip about the neighbor across the street. And so again, highly engaging, highly inquisitive. And it also just speaks to this placement's ability to take in a lot of stimulation, a lot of knowledge, like a sponge absorbing its environment. Ultimately, that describes your child with Mercury and Gemini, which means you want to be careful with the information that they're being exposed to. Keep in mind too, every single conversation you have, your little one with Mercury and Gemini is probably eavesdropping and will remember every single detail. So these are things to keep in mind if you've got a little one with Mercury in the sign of Gemini. This placement also tends to excel in school. You may find actually children with Mercury and Gemini find it unchallenging. They're more likely to not be challenged in a classroom setting. So these are things that you want to be aware of. And it's primarily because, again, Mercury in Gemini takes in information quickly. This placement is sharp. This placement is witty. This placement processes things and analyzes things really quickly. So you may find in some areas, your child just isn't challenged and may have a difficult time staying focused, may have a difficult time paying attention, may be somewhat distracted in different classroom settings if their mind is not being stimulated at a fast rate. You can't really do much about that except to just be mindful of it. It may just require your child to be put in advanced placement classes, right? You may have yourself a little genius on your hand, just saying. With all of that said, because Mercury and Gemini natives tend to process information quickly and tend to be very sharp-witted, very analytical, this placement lends itself to anxiety. This placement is known to overthink. This placement is known for going down rabbit holes to the point where they're experiencing panic attacks, to the point where they may be navigating mental health challenges. Geminis are known to be the twins in astrology. When I think of twins, I think of Jekyll and Hyde, right? And so mismatched, dueling personalities, very typical for anyone with Gemini placements, especially Sun, Moon, or Mercury. And so what ends up happening is when your child reaches that point of saturation as it relates to the stimulation they're absorbing on a regular basis, they can become kind of irritable. Your child might get a little cranky, similar to a Cancer. And so these are things that you want to be mindful of. People with Mercury and Gemini can't help the fact that they think and process things quickly. And at the same time, it does beg the need for mindfulness when it comes to learning how to slow down the thinking process, to be present with different tasks so that they're not easily distracted or jumping ahead. And so all of these are really important tidbits to keep in mind as it relates to your child with Mercury and Gemini. Same is true if you're a fully functioning adult with Mercury and Gemini as well. And keep in mind, I'm only talking about the Mercury placement. When we're born, all of the planets are in different zodiac signs. And so if you are a grown adult looking for more specific information as it relates to your full astrological makeup, visit my website at traceylrogers.com, book yourself a chart analysis reading. And if you're a parent wanting to learn more about your child's full astrological makeup, visit my website, babyastrologybooks.com, and purchase your child's first astrology book. I look forward to staying connected. Hopefully this information helps in the meantime. Take care.